Hi everyone and welcome. Good evening. Welcome to Singapore. It's past 8 o'clock and I decided to go live today because I wanted to do some story sharing and testimonial sharing with you. Many of you, I've added a lot of friends for the past few weeks on my Facebook account. But many of you know that I've been surviving a brain hemorrhage that I got as a blessing in my head. From 2018, and so 2019 started as a full recovery year. I'm sharing this because I think it can help many people, and I just need to get the word out there what it can do for you, because going through a hemorrhage and the recovery, it totally changes you as a person. And when I started recovering, the neurologists here in Singapore actually told me that I wouldn't be able to sing again. So performing was not an option anymore, and I wouldn't be able to go back to work again. And people who know me know that I really love working. So I was looking at my intention for this video, and you all know that I've been doing sales a lot. And yes, of course, if you buy a Healy through me, because I'm going to talk about the Healy device later on, yes, I will get some earnings from that. But mainly, my biggest intention is to share my journey and to share with you what the Healy has done for me to support me in my healing journey. So as I said, I received a brain hemorrhage at the end of 2018, and that's actually where my world stopped, literally. And then being a trainer and a coach for so many years within the mindset, the personal development world, I could still remember some of the tricks and tools and strategies that I could use for my mindset to get through this recovery year. So 2019 was full on recovery, and I went to therapists, I went to bioresonance therapists, to physiotherapists, name it. I've seen all kinds of therapists to help me get back on my feet. Many of you also know I believe in essential oils and the healing benefits and the power of the potency. And then came Healy at the end of 2019. So I was slowly coming back, and I actually started singing again last year, October, whilst the neurologist told me I wasn't able to, I wouldn't be able to sing again. But so many things had changed for me after the brain hemorrhage significantly. Now, when people talk to me, they'll tell me they can't even tell that I had a brain hemorrhage. And that's a huge compliment, because I've worked really hard for the past year to get back on my feet. And I think the power of the mind is underestimated when you're going through a disease or chronic diseases or a brain hemorrhage like me. The power of the mind is essential. So there are so many things that I've been using for the past year to get back on my feet. It's not just changing my lifestyle. It's not just the Healy device. It's not just the essential oils. It's a combination of a lot of things. And I always love success stories, because sometimes, success stories, they're so needed so that you can learn and feel that there are ways out there to get back on your feet. The main thing for me that I was struggling with for the past year after the hemorrhage was that my character seemed to be changing. Now, I'm convinced that my character is still the same, but my emotional and mental state was really deteriorating. The way I was responding to people during my recovery year was really difficult. Okay, so I was taking everything so personally, and I couldn't really communicate well with people. And in business, the one thing that you need is communication. And I had to stop working for a while because I noticed that I wasn't responding well to my clients and to my friends. I needed to have a break. And I think it's a miracle that I really survived that brain hemorrhage, and I'm very thankful that I'm still here. And I believe I'm here to share my story so that people who are going through something similar or maybe even worse can benefit from it as well. So I'm just here to share my story. If you ever decide to buy the Healy, that's super great. But for now, it's just a story sharing that I want to do at the moment. So yeah, I already told you the brain hemorrhage started at the end of 2018, around Christmas time. And when the doctors told me I wouldn't be able to sing or perform or work ever again, that really made me depressed. So the depression kicked in, and my whole body started to change. My behavior started to change. Cooking, I wasn't able to cook anymore. Speaking, you'll notice even during this webinar, during this Facebook Live, that my speaking sometimes can be a little bit off. I am noticing it because I know myself, but if you don't know me, you probably won't notice it. Or maybe you do. But cooking was really a huge problem for me. I loved cooking, and I was mixing up all the ingredients because I was so frustrated by all the measurements in the recipes, and I let my food burn. So that was one thing that changed severely for me after the brain hemorrhage. I have a few chronic diseases. I have a mild form of fibromyalgia and diabetes type 2. Hypertension, and something else, asthma. So I've been having all these things for quite some years, ever since I was a little girl. And you know, when you have chronic diseases, these are maybe things that people don't see about you because they see a vibrant a man or a woman, and they can't tell whether you have a chronic disease, right? Because I'm also the kind of type of girl that kind of likes to smile all my life way through, and I don't want other people to know that I'm suffering. But you guys don't see me on days when I'm having a lot of pain, because I don't show that particular part. But people who have a chronic disease are suffering in silence. And yeah, so luckily, I see a lot of my friends who have chronic diseases share their stories as well, who are not working with Healy, but I'm so happy that they do that, because by sharing our stories, we can inspire and empower other people. So having these chronic diseases made me tired constantly. Now, I don't know how many of you know how it feels like to be tired on a frequent basis, on a daily basis, from morning till night. I mean, I would be so exhausted that I wouldn't be able to play with my son anymore. So these are significant things that also changed after the brain hemorrhage. And the biggest thing, because I am a high sensitive person, and there are many of us out there who are very, very sensitive to sound, to energy, to people's vibes, to basically anything. And for example, if I would go to a heavy metal concert, the sound of the music will come in so hard that I will literally go crazy in my head. So I can't stand loud noises. The problem with the hemorrhage was that I wasn't able to go outside anymore without wearing these huge headphones. And these headphones helped me to shut the outside noise, to create like an invisible shield for me to protect me so I could be in the mall. But truth of the matter was that after just being in the mall for like 10 minutes, I would feel so drained, you know. I mean, going to lunches with friends was always a huge problem, and after the hemorrhage it was even worse, because before I got to the location of the lunch venue, I would already be so drained, and then I would be thrown out of my body energetically, and I wasn't present. And I'm an art of feminine presence coach. So, you know, it was really, really hard for me to constantly come back in my body all the time. So I don't know how many of you believe in energy. I do. I do not believe in coincidences. So, for example, if I'm thinking about you, I'm sending out vibrations to you telepathically, and then all of a sudden you start calling me, you'll know that kind of situation. And so being a coach, an energy coach, it was very frustrating for the past year to see myself going down the drain and not being able to overcome my depression, not being able to overcome the sensitivity of everything around me. And you can be so talented, you know. I mean, you can have the best education and all, but if your energy levels are so low, there's no use in all of the grades that you've accomplished, and there's no use. You can't do anything if you do not have good energy. And that was my biggest wish. I mean, I was very successful business-wise, and I've made good money, and that none of that mattered to me anymore. All I wanted was to be normal, and normal for me was having a good minute of great energy. So I was actually living minute by minute. Living minute by minute kind of brings in the tension also, because you're constantly on survival modus. And now it's different. It's different for me now. So there are a few things. I couldn't walk outside without my headphones to block the noise, to block all of the other impressions that were coming in. So the headphone was really essential for me, wearing that. I couldn't play with my child because his energy was like up there. My energy was super, super low because of the chronic diseases and the after, how do you call it? The recovery of the hemorrhage. So that was another thing. And also my relationship with my husband. I mean, he's an amazing guy, and he's been supporting me from day one that we met, and he's been with me throughout the whole recovery year of my brain hemorrhage. And I know there would be many partners that would have walked away, because we've been going through hell for the past years. And so yeah, the support of my husband was very important to me as well. And any therapy that I did here in Singapore or online, he supported me. And we paid a lot of money for lots of therapies, because you're just trying something. When you've suffered from a brain hemorrhage, you don't know which way to go, and every brain hemorrhage is so different. You have to discover what works for you. And so that was the thing. And also my communication with other people was so bad. I would get anger attacks for no reason after the hemorrhage. That can destroy whole relationships. That can destroy how you want to go do your groceries. Because I remember being in a supermarket and I was reading a label on a product, and I got so angry because I couldn't understand what was on the label, literally. And I started crying like a little baby. So all my emotions were being stirred up. And there I was, a 43-year-old woman, an adult, crying in the supermarket over a label she didn't understand. That was really frustrating. And then I had to go back from the grocery store back home. And then I was so exhausted. I had to sleep for hours. So you can imagine that depression is kicking in, and you're trying your damnedest best. And then at that moment, it just doesn't matter how skilled you are as a coach. You're also a human being. And then there comes a point. I mean, I came to a point that I just didn't know what to do anymore. I tried so many supplements, and so many lifestyle changes. I have an enormous, strong willpower. I'm a fighter. I don't give up easily. But there were just days that I just wanted to be doing nothing. There was this constant battle every single day, every single minute of the day, this constant mental battle of trying to show compassion for myself and then beating myself up for letting the food burn. So all these processes took place last year. And there came a point that I really felt that I'm losing hope. Another thing is I'm not really good at taking supplements. So having to swallow pills and tablets and all that and supplements is just not for me. I really tried a lot. Drinks, same. I'm not really good with taking drinks. So I went to the bioresonance therapist for the last years also, meaning this is a therapist who is working with frequency therapy through a huge frequency machine, right? So I paid her, I don't know, like $200 a session. And a session would be like, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour or so. And after every session, I felt so good. I felt energized, rejuvenated, and I felt like, yeah, I can handle it. I handle myself again. But that just lasted for 1 or maybe 2 days. And I asked her if there was an option to have the machine at home and then use it at home. And then she said, well, you have to be a therapist in order to work with this machine. And I obviously did understand that there was something on the market back then, but I didn't believe in it basically, and so I didn't buy it. So then came Healy, which is this device. It's a wearable medical device, and it's been designed to help with chronic diseases such as fibromyalgia, migraine, and a lot of other things. There are also a lot of other things that haven't been proven yet, so I have to be honest about that. But I can only share from my own experience what it's done for me. So a good friend of mine from the Netherlands introduced me to the Healy. And once again, yes, I'm going to share with you what it costs at the end of this Facebook Live. But I really want you to focus on my sharing, and whether you're going to buy it or not, I don't really care, because I just want to share this information with you. So she shared the information with me also, and I bought it because I believe in energy therapy anyway. And I wasn't ready to go and see another therapist for a whole year long. I was tired of therapists, to be honest. And so I started using the programs, the health programs that are linked to the Healy. And within 2 days, I thought I didn't feel anything yet. And I was really hoping to feel something. But then something happened on the third day. So I went to the MRT, which is the subway here in Singapore. And all of a sudden, I noticed that I didn't have my headphones with me. And I started to panic, because my headphones were my lifelines. They would protect me from anything that would cross my path if I would go outside. And I started panicking, but I saw that I had the Healy in my bag, and I just instinctively turned on the Healy. I chose a program, and there's a program on there. It's called General Protection, which basically builds like this huge energy field around you. And I was just sitting in the MRT, and I felt super, super calm, and I felt the panic going down. I used some essential oils as well, but that was actually the first time that I wasn't even thinking about taking my headphones to where I was going. So that was really strange for me, because I was also frantic about that headphone. And then I just had to do some mindset work again and trust that this device is working. And I was using a lot of positive mantras as well. And the day went really well. I was still exhausted by the end of my journey on that day, but I couldn't care, because I wasn't panicking anymore. So that was a huge victory on that day. So I thought it was a coincidence, while I actually do not believe in coincidences, but I'm being skeptical sometimes. And then I tried it again without a headphone. I had my headphones with me, but I didn't put them on, just to see how it was working if I would wear the Healy outside. And that was like, I don't know, 2 months ago or so. And until this day, I'm still walking outside without my headphones. If I use these earplugs, it's just because I want to listen to great music, and that's basically it. I don't feel the need anymore to use my headphones. In fact, they're lost. I can't find them anymore. So it's been a huge victory in that area. And what else has improved? I'm going to explain to you later how the Healy works. But what else has improved is my way of communication with other people. I don't feel as personally attacked anymore, because, as I explained earlier, once you suffered from a brain hemorrhage, your mental and your emotional responses are going to be very different. And there's a process of acceptance connected to that. And I had to go through that process of acceptance. And now I'm able to talk through the phone, because I wasn't able to receive phone calls because I couldn't process them well. And now I'm not scared of answering the phone anymore. I'm not scared of doing business calls anymore, because I'm feeling really confident and centered. And I truly believe that the Healy has helped me do that. And another significant change for me is also that I am able to have confidence in my cooking again. I rediscovered my passion for cooking, and that's the phase where I'm in right now. And I'm cooking again without letting things burn. I'm not panicked or overwhelmed anymore by the recipes and the ingredients and the measurements that I'm seeing. I'm finding the joy in cooking again, and that to me is like a huge blessing, because cooking for me means taking care of my family. And as my husband is working very hard at his daytime job, and I'm also working very hard at home with my home business, but all I want is just to be energetic most of the days and being able to take care of my family. My son, we're not in lockdown officially at the moment, but I'm not surprised if it will happen. But I'm very confident and very calm in the idea of staying at home with my family for days, because my way of responses are so different now. And yeah, of course, I have some bad days like anybody else. But the biggest difference for me is that I'm not experiencing this on a daily basis anymore, where I'm waking up feeling totally depressed and helpless, not looking forward to the day at all. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to my day whenever I wake up. Oh, when I wake up. So these are significant changes for me, and I know that if you have not experienced chronic diseases, and even if you have, every person with every chronic disease is another experience. I always like to say we are spiritual beings in human bodies. No, wait, I have to rephrase that, but I'll get back to you on that one because I'm tired now. So the thing that happens in the evening, I usually get more tired. But even with that, I'm also okay, because being tired this way is such a different way from being tired before the Healy and before the brain hemorrhage. I am really happy with the kind of tiredness I'm experiencing right now. So these are the most significant changes for me after the brain hemorrhage and after the working with the Healy. Now, the Healy is not the only thing that I'm working with to improve my health, to improve my my recovery, because I'm still in a recovery phase. But the only thing is, I'm not attaching myself anymore to the disease or to the brain hemorrhage. So yes, I do have them. But now I firmly believe that I won't have the damage for the rest of my life. And that's what I'm working towards too also. So this was my experience, my personal experience. And the reason why I'm going live about this is because I think people, everyone has a right, is entitled to have a life filled with energetic days. Even if you have chronic diseases, you can still have a great life. And you are not your disease. I mean, that's what I've learned from my recovery year. And you can still feel all that joy and all that abundance and still run a business. I mean, I'm setting up my online academy right now for people who are like me, high sensitive, and who have limited beliefs about themselves, about money, about their business. And it's such a joy to rebuild myself again and to rebuild my business again. So the Healy is just one of the things that I'm doing, that I'm using. But I just want to highlight the Healy tonight because I got an email in this morning saying from Healy, saying that they're offering something really, really great. And they're offering it to anyone in the world. So let me first share with you, this is not going to take long, okay? But let me share with you what the Healy exactly is. The Healy is a medical device. And it's been designed for people who have chronic diseases. It's a device that's been designed in Europe, in Germany. And there is a, what is it called? It's a chip in here, and it runs programs. And it sends the frequencies that you need. It can scan what you need, right? It can scan what you need. And then it can send what you need in energy frequencies to your energy system, because all it's doing is it's gathering information from your energy field, from your body, from your organs, and then it's going to send the right programs to you. So how does it look like? So this is the app on the phone. Okay, let me see if I can. This is the app. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's a little bit too bright. If you're interested in information that goes a little bit in depth, I'm doing webinars also on Sundays. So I'm just going to briefly share with you how it works. So you have an app on your phone. I'm going to do it like this. And this app has different health programs. Okay, so we have programs for depression. We have programs for migraine, for bioenergetic balancing, meridians, so it's acupuncture but without the needles. Meridians 1 and 2 programs. We have, we have sleeping programs. We have job and learning programs. So, for example, if you're having a hard time in sleeping or focusing on your work, then you can run those programs. We have programs for mental balance, for skin also, and weight. And I was really happy with that because I'm trying to lose weight and having chronic diseases, and having survived a brain hemorrhage adds a little bit more challenge to the weight loss journey. Pamela, hi, welcome Pamela. The name of the app is called Healy. So it's, can you see it? It's like that. So I can share screenshots with you later. But it's just the Healy app. This is the Healy device. So it just works and synced with each other. And I really love it because it really cleanses out all the toxins also. It builds like this protection field all around me. And the wonderful thing is that when I'm using the Healy, my dog, and you guys know dogs are really sensitive. When my dog knows or sees that I'm using the Healy, he kind of senses it. And he comes sitting next to me, and he's kind of tapping into the program that I'm running at the moment as well. So, so this for me is a great opportunity to help heal myself on a daily basis. Okay, so that's basically how it works. Once again, if you're interested in more information, please come to my webinar, because there I can share photos and slides with you, and I want to be transparent about the price as well. So yes, it costs money, right? But everything costs money basically. So if you're scared of spending money, then the Healy is not for you. They have different starters programs. You can buy a basic program, and in that basic program, which is called the Gold Cycle, it already has amazing 6 or 7 programs, okay? And then there are other programs that you can buy, but you do not have to buy the biggest program. You can just start with the basic one. What I like also is, so this is the Healy app, and then we have the Healy Resonance app. So what does the Healy Resonance app do? It can scan your whole energy system. It can scan your aura. It can scan which vitamins, which minerals, which Bach flower remedies, which essential oils, which crystal stones you need. And then the most beautiful thing about that is it can vibrate the energy and the percentages of what you need to your energy field and to your energy system. It can measure the condition of your auras, your chakras. So then once it has scanned the condition of your chakras, it can then send the vibration of what you need to help heal those chakras, right? So it is very, very an extended program, and I suggest, if you want to learn more, come to my webinar on Sunday. I'm doing a Sunday webinar at around 8 o'clock Singapore time. If you're living in the US and you need a different time, please let me know, because the US is opening in April soon. So the Healy is available in Europe, most countries, Singapore, Australia also, and there are a few other countries. But if you want to know more, just send me a PM. So this was my story sharing, and if you know anyone, if you're not interested, but you know anyone who has chronic diseases, who is struggling on a daily basis with energy levels, with depression or whatever, it's not to heal you. So I can't say that it's gonna heal you. I mean, I can only share my own story, okay? But that's with all the products that we share with other people. So please use a common sense also. Let me see if I can turn on a program. So I can share that with you. Okay, so mental balance, for example. Inner strength. Can you see it? Maybe. Okay. So how it works with electrodes. Yeah. So you can put electrodes on your wrists. There are some sticky electrodes you can put here, not on your face. and locally. So if you have a menopause or a hormone disbalance, you can put the Healy on your the organs that matches with that problem. And it actually has programs for cleaning out the kidneys, the liver, the intestines, everything. So this is an example. So if I hold it like this, you can see it. So this is an example, right, of running a program. Let me see. Okay. So let's say I want to do a program for the meridians. Oh, sorry, this is yellow. You can't see it. Let's take something purplish. Okay. Let's do mental balance again. So I chose mental balance, and what it does is I'm gonna just click on one of the programs. Let's say inner strength. I want to create inner strength, and then I'll just click on start, and it tells you which electrodes to use. So this tells me I need to use my wrist electrodes. Yeah. So then I'm gonna click on start. And then it says your program is being transmitted. So it's going to find which frequencies it needs to send to you. So this is what my bioresonance therapist was doing with me with her machines. And yeah, obviously I really appreciated her work. But just going to the bioresonance therapist for just once a week, for me personally, was not enough. This has strengthened my bioenergetic field within just a few weeks. And now I'm just able to go out for more than 4 hours and still be tired, but not feeling as drained anymore, okay? It is a different story if I have to go to big events, because there's a lot of impressions there, a lot of people. And when I go to big events, even when there's just 20 people there, I need like 2 days to recover. But that's fine. That will get better. So here it says, you see a percentage here. So it means you can boost it a little bit more. And you can do 100% of sending the frequencies if you want to. So it's going to circle around. It's a program that lasts for 51 minutes, but it's real-time frequency sending, so it's going to move faster. And I also use this when I have a cold, when I have a flu. There are programs on here for a flu, for cold, for your sinuses, and also to boost your immune system massively. So I'm feeling really, really protected by this programs. Okay, so what it does, it's going to go around and until the program is done. So the first 9 minutes is going to send all the basic stuff that you need, and then after that, you see here the hertzes, it's going to change, and that's why they call it real time. Okay, so this is basically how the program works. You can close your phone and the program is still running. When I'm going to bed, I use a program called Sleep. It's a program for sleep. And I do not need to wear the electrodes, because then that specific program works without the electrodes. It's very fascinating to me, and I've seen some amazing results with myself, but also with other people, with my family also. And yeah, so I'm gonna place a link to my webinar starting this Sunday. And again, if you, I don't have a lot of time to do one-on-one calls anymore, unfortunately, because I'm really, really busy, which is a great thing. But I'll be happy to do a group Zoom call if you're ever ready for it. So this was my story sharing. I hope I've been able to inspire you and empower you a little bit more to take care of yourself, and that everything that you're going through with chronic diseases, I just want to give hope to people, and I hope I've succeeded in giving this Facebook Live. Thank you so much for watching, and don't be reluctant to send me some questions if you have some. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.